I'm Danny Rosenthal. I'm the Director of Community for Engine Hire, and it's my privilege to get to share with you Stephanie Bauchum from the Nanny Agency School to share her marketing essentials with all of us. Um, I love Stephanie. I love everything she's about. I don't know, she's like nanny agency influencer. Um, so if you have any questions, throw them in the chat and we can make sure that, we can try our best to make sure that Stephanie can get around to answering them. Yeah, but Stephanie, without any further ado, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and jump into your presentation?
Awesome. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat today. I feel like marketing is my groove, it's my thing. I feel like it comes easy to me. I don't know if that's just from my personality or I feel like I was born into entrepreneurship. And so here we are. And so I was a nanny household manager for 13 years. I actually have a little page here. Nanny household manager for 13 years. And I was just so blessed to have some of the best families. I live in Dallas, Texas, but I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. And so it was not in my plan to become a nanny. I thought I was going to be a singer and travel and all that stuff. And it was actually music that led me into the household staffing industry. So I was teaching early childhood music classes and I started nannying some of my children on the side, my students on the side. And from there, people kept having babies and I kept getting hired, is what I like to say. And while working, I kept getting asked, hey, do you know a nanny? Are you available? And if I wasn't available, I would literally send people on jobs. I would send my sister, my friends, I would find nannies. And I was like, okay, I'm working as a recruiter. This is a lot. And so I did research and launched my agency in 2012 while working as a nanny. Of course, I wasn't full time because I was nannying along with hosting my agency or working my agency, but pandemic was kind of a win-win for us. And that's my story. And some of you may know me. I actually own Nanny Tees as well. And I started Nanny Tees while I was an agency owner and nannying. So I'm just pretty much in all the nanny things. And I'm so excited. I've had to learn a lot over the years regarding marketing. And I just want to share a few things today that hopefully will help you out. And if you know some of the things already, just, take the meat and spell the bones. Okay. So why do we market? We're going to run over this really quickly. We market so we can get in front of our target niche, our target audience, those that we want to sell to. And I have made so many mistakes with trying to sell to everybody. And although we love everybody, we cannot serve everybody. And so you really have to narrow in on your target market. And of course, we want to generate sales. I don't know any business owner that does not want to make money. Yes, we have nonprofits, but even nonprofits, you need money to live and to function and to serve in that capacity. Okay. And then you're going to hear me say serving a lot because I believe that's what we're called to do as agency owners. So we are called to serve families, serve nannies, or whatever market you're in. That's why you're doing what you do, because you serve. And so that's why you market as well. A lot of us have learned things over the years. If you've worked as a nanny or you're a mom, dad, whoever, you want to provide education and industry insight. And so that's why you market as well. And then lastly, to build trust and loyalty with your clients and candidates. And I want to say this, I think sometimes agency owners are so client focused that we forget we would have no placements if it weren't for the candidates. So don't forget to be loyal to them, make them feel welcome to your agency. Don't just be a one and done type of thing. Like you really want to make sure your agency is a community and that you really, really care about your candidates because you wouldn't be able to, make money if you didn't have the right candidates. So just wanted to throw that in there. Don't be so client focused that you forget about your candidates. Okay. So let's roll through this. The number one is do not oversell, but position your agency the right way. Have you ever joined an email list and all they do is sell, 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 sell? I'm an unsubscriber. I don't know about you, but getting the same message over and over and over and over again is no bueno. So make sure you don't oversell, but you position your agency the right way. And so here's how you do it. You make sure your messaging is clear. Now, we all basically do the same thing. We provide nannies, sitters, household staff, and things like that. But how can you make it clear to where it's not like repetitive or it's something, hey, you need a sitter? come over here, you know, make sure your messaging is clear. So my phrase is, we provide the extra set of hands that families need. Straight to the point, it tells you what we do, and that's who we are. So make sure your messaging is very clear, okay? And then one mistake that I actually made up front was trying to offer too many services and sell too many services. Now, you may be able to fill more than one type of service. So you may do sitters, you may do full-time, part-time, you may do churches, you may do travel, you may do conventions, you may do weddings, you may do funerals, which is a thing. You may do after school, you may do all the things. However, you want to make sure you just narrow in on a couple things, and you won't turn away clients who may need childcare for Becky's funeral. You know, yes, you offer that service, but hone in on just a few things and sell that. Okay. And then back to what I was saying, are you offering the right service to the right audience? I made a mistake when I started in the beginning, and I put an ad in a magazine. I'm in Dallas, and it went out to tens of thousands of families. Now, what I didn't realize is that it went out to tens of thousands of families all over the Dallas area, not just in my neighborhoods that I market to. And so you kind of want to be careful that you're not marketing to everybody, but that you hone in on those clients that can afford your services. It is not discrimination. It is not a thing. And I always like to say, you know, Target has their audience, Walmart has their audience, Dollar General has their audience. But the thing is, they're all thriving. They have their customer. So don't be afraid to narrow in, and don't feel like you have to market to everybody, because you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste your money either. How many times have you know, gotten on a call, and, you know, we love everybody, but Becky, that'll just be the name of the day. And if your name is Becky, I'm sorry. Becky may be, you know, fresh out of college, and, you know, she's newly married and she has a baby, but they can't afford $25 an hour. Yes, Becky should get reliable childcare, but maybe she should look into an in-home daycare versus a nanny, or even a nanny share. So you just want to make sure you're marketing to the Becky family, no, the Beckley family, and not just Becky. Even though we love Becky, we want to serve Becky, but you have to make sure that the client you're serving or marketing to is who can afford your services. And then you want to make sure that you know how to serve and why you serve. Okay. Along with knowing that you market to the Beckley family, you know, how are you going to do that? Are you going to do that through social media? Are you going to do that by going to in-person meetings? Are you going to go to neighborhood association events? And we'll talk about that too. And then, of course, you want to make sure your why is in the forefront. Always keep your purpose, always keep your vision, everything in the forefront, because families and clients can tell when you're all about the money. So make sure your heart is in the right place too. Okay. All righty. Let's talk about Facebook groups. I love a good Facebook group, and I know that we're all super busy. I know that we have agencies to run. Some of you still may be nannying, or you may work in other fields and you're growing your agency on the side. But let's talk about it. So this is something that I actually did today, and I already have some calls set up. So I just kind of pop in every now and then and ask questions. So here's an example. Hey moms, I'm working on adding more childcare services to my nanny agency. Can you share your biggest struggle with finding childcare? Oh my gosh. The comments. And matter of fact, that'll be your homework this week. Go in your local Facebook group, mom group, not mom and nanny group, but mom group, and just ask a question and see what happens. Another question I like to ask: what would help the flow of your household run more smoothly? Oh my gosh, I need somebody to go grocery shopping. We don't trust Instacart. We don't trust, you know, all the people going and shopping for us. But if I had somebody reliable that could, you know, go shopping and help set my household up, you know, I would love that. Another question I love: would you ever be interested in recurring childcare from fully vetted nannies? I've asked it. Oh my gosh, yes, I'm having a hard time. I get on the other websites and I'm just not finding anybody that, you know, is suitable for me. So ask questions in the group, and you can screenshot this too. Um, and I want to know how it works. So that's your homework for the week. Go in those groups and ask questions, okay? Another thing I love is to respond and share my expertise in those mom groups. So if a mom, for example, asked about helping create a routine for her toddler because she's exhausted, I always start off, when I was a nanny, this is what I did. And then I'll get inboxes, oh my gosh, you're a nanny. Are you still nannying? No, however, I place nannies and I would love to hop on a call. So you kind of see how you're not selling, but you kind of are selling. Yay, nay. Yeah. So screenshot this, ask those questions this week, and then I want to hear from you. I want to hear how that goes. So that is a great way to navigate Facebook groups. Okay. Get involved. Don't just say, need a sitter this weekend, contact me. Well, you may get some responses, but how amazing would it be to build relationships? You know, you don't want to be, what do they say, transactional. You want to be more relational. Okay. So, number 3 is to get more creative with social media. And this is something that I'm personally working on now. So last week, I tried just sharing 2 different actually 3 reels, and I actually got more likes. So the things I used to do was 5 reasons you need to hire a nanny, 5 ways to do this. And that's great. But what if you kind of changed it a little bit and said, why hiring a nanny is self-care for parents? Everybody's talking about mental health. Everybody's talking about self-care. So you can be that solution. You know, there can be a regular post, it can be a reel, it can be stories. For me, I'm getting more story views than anything. And I'm also sharing other social media accounts because now, of course, they can see who's sharing. And so they're viewing all of my stories after I share theirs. So that's a great way to kind of change your messaging a little bit to make it real cool. So another example, you need a nanny this weekend. Well, I'm sure the whole world probably needs a nanny. That's great, but instead, maybe try get back to date nights and let us take care of the kids. You kind of see how you're marketing the same thing, but you're providing a solution. Oh, we haven't been on a date night in 6 months. There's an agency that provides that. So try changing up your messaging a little bit. Another thing I love is becoming the expert. So talk about, you can tell your nanny story, you can tell your agency story. One thing I love to teach in the Nanny Agency School is don't be afraid to share your expertise, even if it isn't nanny related. So there was one amazing cohort member. She loved natural health. She loves juicing, smoothies. She loves making things from scratch, gardening, like all the natural things she loves. And so I said, maybe you can make that your thing. Like every Monday, you can have a motivational Monday post to talk about a juice you made. Wednesdays, you can show yourself outside with your son and things like that. So kind of get creative with how you present yourself as an agency, you know. All of us are doing the same thing, but you can do it differently while still being yourself. Okay. And I know everybody doesn't like to be on camera. I get it. That is tough. And you don't have to be, you know, you can outsource that too. But, you know, just think about it because your story is another way for you to relate to your audience and get more followers. Like, think about the influencers that you follow and the people that you love. You probably wouldn't be following them if they weren't relatable. There's some kind of way they relate to you that draws you in. And so that's why you follow them. So just something to think about. Okay. I love holidays. Use holidays to your advantage. Okay. So we're in summer. We know school is about to start. Companies, school district, PTAs, they are already planning the school year. Communities, they've already got Labor Day planned. They've already have back to school stuff planned. So now is the time that you should be planning all of your holiday offerings, getting involved in the local community. So for instance, we partnered, there's a area in Dallas called Legacy West, and it was 2021. And we partnered with them to host the first Juneteenth event ever. And from there, we got clients. We literally worked with them to plan. They gave us a budget and we hosted, and our name was everywhere. And they're looking for businesses and agencies. I say agencies, but businesses and agencies to connect with to get more people to them. So not only is it great for your agency, but it's great for them. Okay. So don't be afraid. Who do you reach out to? You reach out to marketing directors, those who do sales and community events. Usually all of that information is online, or you can just call and say, hey, I'm Becky with the such and such agency, and I'm looking to connect with somebody about a business idea and an event idea for Valentine's Day or for spring break or for whatever. So that is an amazing way to get involved. I love serving. Thanksgiving is always a big thing. So consider, again, reaching out to community nonprofits. Nonprofits are amazing, and organizations to maybe donate food, go serve on Thanksgiving Day. There's so many ways that you can get involved, not just to grow your agency, but just to serve. Okay. And I remember I served at an event. I just went and got to talking with the staff. And I said, well, yeah, on a nanny agency. Oh my gosh. My sister was just saying that she needed a nanny. Can I have your information? Like, so you never know who you'll meet just by serving somebody else. Okay. I love Christmas. Y'all know Christmas is like the biggest holiday ever in life. Well, that and Halloween. But consider donating and sponsoring hot cocoa or gifts. And I always love sponsoring 4 free hours of childcare. Sometimes I'll provide the childcare or I'll send a nanny and then I'll pay the nanny. And families love it. And then once it's done, you kind of get their feedback and say, well, we would love to, share more about our services. And you've got a client. So sponsor, get out there and just get more involved in your local community. And then also, I'll say this. So think about other types of cultures and some of the holidays they celebrate. So, we do Kwanzaa and we have tons of Kwanzaa events. There's Jewish organizations, there's Asian organizations, connect with DEI departments and things like that. Like there's so much outside of the normal things that are kind of always commercialized. Like, yeah, if you have a heritage and you guys celebrate like the Chinese New Year, think about that and, get involved in different types of organizations outside of your norm, because I think sometimes we can just get so in a box and used to the same thing, but you could be missing out on potential partnerships and potential clients that may be great for your agency. Excuse me, because you never know who knows who. Okay. Also, New Year's Eve is like a thing. Families are planning now. And the biggest thing is, okay, we want to stay up past midnight, but what are we going to do with the kids? Like, we want to go out, we want to celebrate, and nannies are looking for New Year's Eve jobs. So promote that, push that, do what you got to do to make it happen. Same thing with Valentine's Day. Okay. So use holidays to your advantage to, market your services and serve more clients. Okay. LinkedIn is my friend. I love LinkedIn. I know that it is new for some, and some may not have the time. But if you just set a timer for 30 minutes a day, like that 30 minutes goes by so fast. I scroll longer than 30 minutes every single day on social media. So if you can just set aside 30 minutes a day just to get connected to LinkedIn community, whether that's through live streams, looking up potential partners. And I like to say, do not overlook local small businesses. Like Dallas has so many huge organizations, but there are some smaller tech companies down the street that have the budget to be able to offer childcare as a, what is it called? A benefit for their employees, or even just to say, hey, here's a local nanny agency that you can use if you guys need a night out. I always sell and write this down that having reliable childcare for corporate employees is giving them the opportunity to perform better at work. I'm telling you, it works every time. You get in those messages and you contact the HR director or marketing department. Hi, I'm Stephanie from the Matoto Agency, and I would love to connect about how we can provide corporate solutions for your employees. It shows that corporate employees who have great childcare have better work performance. Okay, so you kind of see how that messaging was clear, it's facts, and it's straight to the point. Another thing is, I don't know if you're not on LinkedIn, but if you are, you probably get so many spam messages from people asking to jump on a call. And I get it. Everybody has Calendly, but if I don't quite know you, I don't want to talk to you just yet. So make sure your message is warm and inviting and not straight to, hey, let's jump on a call. Okay. And then I love LinkedIn events. Sometimes I'll just have them playing in the background while I'm working and, maybe pop on 1 or 2 a month just to get involved. So make those connections, get on LinkedIn. Like if you only knew the power and the direct access you have to these corporate executives, I'm telling you, it works. I I saw a post 2 weeks ago, and there's this new organization for men. And I mostly honestly market to moms, but there are dads out there who, take on the role of finding childcare. So I reached out to this guy and I said, "Hey, I saw your post. I think it's really cool what you're doing." He's like, "Yeah, let's hop on a call." And I didn't even tell him I owned a nanny agency. I said, "I'm in Dallas and I saw you hosting an event and I think it's really cool." And so we hopped on a call and he said, "You may not have seen, but in the picture, there was a guy holding his daughter. And, he asked before the event if he could bring his daughter because the wife had something to do. And he said, had I known you had an agency, I would have, sent him your information." So not knowing that there was, a need, I became available. And now that he has my agency name and he's able to send my information out. And we're going to connect and collab on an event. So get in there. Don't be afraid to shoot your LinkedIn shot and get connected with those executives, okay? Now, you can screenshot this as well. These are unique ways that you can market, and I have done all of these, and I still do. Um, and I would suggest, because I know a lot of you may live in huge cities and it may be overwhelming, commit to one a month or one a week. So let's say next week, you're only going to focus on co-working communities. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a place where business owners get together, or some businesses send their employees to a place to work. And that's all they do. It's like this, they have rooms, offices, events, and say, okay, next week, I'm going to reach out to 20 co-working communities to see if I can go in and take a tour and, maybe even do a day, like trial day, and let them know what I offer. And I guarantee there are no other nanny agencies in there. I've done it. And they're like, we don't have any members who are nanny agencies, but we have a lot of members with kids. I'm sure, we could probably get you some business, okay? Luxury real estate agents, and I should probably just put regular real estate agents too, because I believe there's such a huge market in the middle class family. A lot of us, we want to get that $20,000 placement, 30, and that is great. We should. I want to as well. However, while you're waiting to get those or in between placements, there's this whole market of middle class families who just may need date nights here and there. And they're new to the area. They don't have any family. And how amazing would it be for them to get their welcome to Dallas packet and they see a nanny agency in there. So connect with real estate agents. I love kids boutiques and kids shops, toy shops. I actually just saw another agency. They were vending in this ice cream parlor. I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea. Like, it makes total sense. So kids boutiques, places that kids and families frequent, toy stores, just reach out, because again, that's business for them. And so in our agency welcome packet, we have a resource page. And what we have are just community businesses that we partner with. And so we kind of barter. And I can talk about this really quickly, but a lot have asked, should I provide a referral fee? If somebody sends me a family or a nanny, you can. But how amazing would it be to partner with a business who mentions you monthly, like in their newsletter, things like that? Like, again, it's all about building relationships and not being that one and done type of deal. 250 out of a, placement is nice to just get for the referral, but it would be nice to have that relationship that you can just continue over time. Okay. Also, reach out to church children's ministries. I don't know if you do church childcare, but they're always looking for partners. Always. A lot of them, they're in vacation Bible school right now. They are planning their back to school things. A lot of them even do holiday alternatives. So they'll call them Hallelujah nights or trunk and treat for Halloween. And they're always looking for community partners because most churches are nonprofits, so they partner a lot. So you can reach out to the children's pastor, the children's director of ministries, and say, hey, I'm a local nanny agency, and we would love to see how we can serve your families. Perhaps you need childcare. Perhaps we can provide giveaways for your women's ministry, or, a family in need or something. So be creative, get in there and reach out to them. And again, don't forget about the dads. Dads are important too. You can speak to them, connect with them. There's dad Facebook groups. Now, they may not let women in, but it's worth a try just to reaching out to the admin. Okay. I'm a local nanny agency and we would love to connect with more dads to give them a night out of self-care and we'll handle the kid. Like you kind of see how you speak to that whole self-care thing and extra hands and household and things like that. Social clubs. So of course, country clubs are great, but there are also social clubs. I didn't realize I Googled one day and I'm like, oh, there's tons in Dallas. And they have the budget. So connect with social clubs and country clubs. And then professional business organizations. So when I say that, I'm saying like Lawyers of Dallas, Women in Dentistry in Dallas, MBA Professional Network. Like get specific and connect with them. We have tons of networks. I think I saw what did I see? It was like moms and birth work or something like that. And that'll bring me to another point, but like get specific and connect with those clubs. There are tons. Look on Eventbrite, of course, look on Facebook, and of course, LinkedIn. And you'll be surprised what you find, okay? Homeschool co-ops and groups. So the pandemic did a huge deal for families putting their kids in homeschools. And they're always looking for nannies, teachers, volunteers, people to come in and just offer services. And I'm sure a lot of their families are always looking. So find your local homeschool groups and co-ops and see how you can connect with them. Okay. Now, I don't know if you offer senior care or not, but retirement communities are great. My uncle and aunt live in one in Kansas City, and I'm like, this is a party, okay? So for those of you who offer like household management, senior care, family assistance, it's a whole thing. And if your area is anything like Dallas, these communities are popping up. When I used to live further in the city, I would actually drive a lady to the grocery store and she'd just pay me. Oh, I just need a ride to the grocery store. And I would take her and we would have a blast. Okay. That's a service. It's a great service. So that, and then I mentioned birth workers, doulas, postpartum doulas, midwives, and newborn care specialists. So usually if a family can afford that service, they can afford a nanny. So partner with them and say, hey, I would love to share your service with my email list. If you'd be willing to share my services with your email list. And usually they're always looking for resources. I just connected with the lady 2 weeks ago and she said, families are always looking and I never know who to send them to. And I said, well, you can send them to me. Okay, so connect with them. Birthing homes and hospitals. Most of your hospitals have classes for pregnant families. So see how you can get into those folders. Maybe you can teach a class or you can, again, sponsor something, sponsor a free consultation. Families love free. I will hop on a free 20-minute call with a family to go over essentials you need from when babies arrive. Like if that's your expertise, and partner with somebody to do that. Like that can be a whole thing too. See if you can stop in the class and, people love giveaways. Sponsor $25 Amazon gift card or Target gift card just to get your name out there and say, hey, can we place our business card or our info little postcard in each bag or in each folder? They'll say yes. And I meant to say OBGYNs, children's dentists, things like that. It's gold, okay? And then wedding and event planners. So I was just telling somebody yesterday that usually each city has like a wedding planner association. We have one here in Dallas, and I got on there one day and there were hundreds like hundreds of wedding planners, and they go through this certification, but they're always looking for vendors to recommend to clients. So connect with wedding and event planners, and then wedding and event venues, okay? Wedding and event venues. And then I don't have listed on here, but hotels, gold. There's this one that was just built up here in the Dallas area. And I said, hey, I'm Stephanie. I actually went to go visit and I asked for the concierge information. And so I went to go talk to the concierge and I said, I'm a nanny agency. Who's in charge of vendors for events? And so he gave me her email and I sent the email that same day and she emailed me right back. And I think a week later, I had a family reach out to me. Now it didn't go through, but the fact that I made the effort to reach out and email shows that there's a need, okay? So hotels, you'll mostly reach out to director of sales and then whoever does community events. Director of sales usually is the one because they work with area vendors like florists, event planners, those who bring in like the furniture for events and that. So definitely connect with those. I forgot to put hotels on the list. Okay. And then the last thing is, I know a lot of this sounds like a lot, but you can definitely outsource your marketing because a lot of us are running the agency and we may not have a whole lot of capacity to do everything I mentioned. I mean, you can. I love setting a timer for 30 minutes a day just to work on marketing, and I get a lot done. So like today, my task was Facebook groups. Wednesdays, Wellness Wednesday, we're going to hop in those Facebook groups, find, any post or anything, and then comment on them, even if it's not nanny related, like get in there and get involved just because. But you can outsource your marketing. Companies that I personally used are Pineapple Staffing. I think now they are overseas if you are open to that type of work or hiring that type of work. I'll tell you, they show up. They show up for work. They are forward thinkers. And I'm telling you, I have one now. She is just the best. She wakes me up. Okay. She's like, hey, just checking on tasks for today because they want to work and the dollar goes further over there. And I think the question has been, well, I'm only paying them $8 to $10 an hour. Is that fair? Yeah, because the dollar, converts differently. And, if you don't have the budget to pay someone 30, 40 an hour, understandable. And sometimes you have to do what you have to do. So Pineapple Staffing is great. Ripple VAs are wonderful. They will actually give you 4 free hours of a trial. So when I started with them, I used it for social media and marketing. So they came up with all of my content. They came up with graphics and they scheduled my posts. So get in there. I think the website is theripplevas.com and let them know I sent you. Okay. I love Fiverr. Fiverr, I actually used to offer voiceover work and music work on Fiverr when it first came out years ago. But then as I was growing my agency, I was like, okay, I can't do all this. And so I found contractors to help me. And so if you need like quick projects done, consider Fiverr. It's great. Same thing with Upwork. Wonderful, 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 wonderful contractors. Okay. Also, look into local Facebook groups. You may get some moms who just need something to do because they're at home. You may get some college students who just, need some practice or they want to earn some extra income. So look through your Facebook groups and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to assist with marketing. Guaranteed you'll get tons of resources. And then same thing kind of goes to number 6 is number 5, moms and nannies. So I have actually hired nannies in my agency. We'd be in the interview process and I'm like, oh my gosh, do you ever do social media or would you be open to, call in references and things like that? And it has worked. So maybe look in your own pool of candidates and see who will be willing. And then same thing with, stay-at-home moms who need some extra work. And then you can hire an intern. Interns are wonderful. They need college credit. I've had an intern and she was wonderful, showed up, did the work. And of course, it's not just work, 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 but you're teaching them along the way. So consider that. And those are the 7 things I have. So before I go on to the next thing, are there any questions? I didn't even look in the chat box. I just kind of been yapping away. Yes.
You
Oh,
are
I love Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Any questions anybody have? Anything I can clarify? Anybody having some issues with marketing? You tried some things and it hasn't worked?
Stephanie, can I ask you one?
Yes, please.
So I've been taking notes this whole time, and you said like so much stuff. I'm so glad that this is recorded.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably feel that way. But I was wondering if there's anything that you did that you were like, oh, that one was actually a waste of time in the end. Like I did this, like I tried to make this partnership or something like that work, and in the end you were just like, well, that was a waste. Like, is there anything that like fits that category that you'd be like, I would stay away from that, or here's maybe like a red flag towards something like that?
There's 2 I can think of. One is the magazine that I did. It was the biggest waste of time and money. And I got 1 phone call out of that magazine. So I would try things more organically if you can before you start placing ads in magazines. Because think about how many magazines you've read. Have you ever contacted anybody or any businesses from that magazine? I don't know. But for me, it didn't work. And then the second one, it totally just slipped my mind, but it'll come back. It'll come back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. It'll come back, I promise. Okay. Portia says, I guess we struggle with knowing what marketing is working or not. What have you tried? I'd be interested to know what you tried. You're welcome, Amy. Bria said, this is so good. What do you say when you reach out to real estate agents, OBGYNs, etc. for partnerships? I always do a really simple email. Hi, I'm Stephanie. And I say former nanny and household manager of 13 years. And I work with families to provide the extra set of hands they need. We provide nannies, sitters, household staff, and I would love to connect with you to share more about our business. Is there a time that you would want to chat? Please check out our website. So it's really simple. I don't give like the rundown. I always say who I am, what we do. Here's our website. Would love to connect. Okay. Portia said, we are hosting a free children's clothing swap coming up, and all leftover clothes are donated to mamas in need after. I love that. I love that. I'm huge on serving. It just does something good, not just for people, but for your heart, because it humbles you, just to help somebody else in need. And if you have the means, please do so. Please give. And then I always say, don't wait till Thanksgiving to serve. People need clothing and food all year long. Okay. Oh, one thing that I love to do, there are a few, well, tons of Title I schools here, and a lot of them say that the kids just don't have school supplies. School supplies drives are fantastic. They are great. Okay. They're great. And children's hospitals. I'll say that we provided toys for children in hospitals over the holidays because they can't celebrate how they want to, and the families. So moms need gifts, kids need gifts, everybody needs love. So even if it's just $20 to Starbucks to give them a break, like it's something. I love that, Portia. I want to know how that goes when you're done. How can I validate myself, share more content with having children of my own? Did you ever work as a nanny, or did you work with children? Because I don't have children yet. And I love sharing content. So you can share your expertise. So here are 3 tips from a nanny who worked with kids that didn't nap. Here are 3 tools on what to do to get your children to calm down. Here are 5 ways. Now make it a reel, because I made the mistake of just making it all like, what's it called? Just regular posts, and I would get 1 or 2 likes. But as soon as I started making reels, actually Nikki helped me with that. I started getting more likes and getting those stories too. So Madison, if you want to email me, I am happy to share some ideas of what you can do. You're welcome, Bria. You're so welcome. Also, who would you recommend to help with reels? What company? I'm not social media savvy. So I personally use Splice. It's an app that I love, love, love. That's if you record your own videos. Honestly, you can hire Nikki from Blueprint. You can see, I would check into local Facebook groups to see what other companies people use, and then Fiverr. Depending on your budget, if you just need some reels created, go on Fiverr, read reviews, and get somebody to help you. Oh, we spoke on LinkedIn. Yes, yes. And that was my next point. We spoke on LinkedIn. Can you tell me more about your Nanny Agency Summit? Do my partner and I need separate ticket? Yes. So now I was actually going to share that the next slide. So I'm so excited. If you don't know what the Nanny Agency School is, I started it in 2021 simply because I kept getting asked, how in the world did you start a nanny agency while working as a nanny? So I put together this program called the Nanny Agency School, and I basically take everybody through all the steps on how to get your business off the ground, contracts, systems, marketing, social, everything to get up and running with a nanny agency owner. As a nanny agency owner is what we teach. And then we also bring in experts to share their stories and expertise as well. And so we're having a nanny agency summit. So originally it was going to be in person here in Dallas, but I had some personal health things happen. And so I did not share that publicly, but it is best that we take it virtual. and then have in-person next year. And so the pricing is now a little bit lower. And anybody who signs up with this discount code will get $40 off. So it's Engine Hire 40. Make sure you use all caps. And this code is good through the end of the month. And you will also get partial credit, not all credit, to next year's summit. Okay. So yes, it is now all virtual, and everyone who attends will need to get a ticket, unless you and your partner are together. I would love for everyone to get an individual ticket, but so yeah. Hopefully that answers. So use discount code Engine Hire 40 through the end of this month to save $40 on that summit. I'm so excited. Nikki from Social Blueprint is going to be speaking. We have Beth from Babysitting Connection coming. We have Lisa DeBuan Murray. She's going to talk about multi-agency ownership, owning more than one agency. We have Peter Coven Ryder. If you have not heard of Peter, he is like the guy of luxury and estate management placement. We have Tanisha Jordan. She's coming to talk about church childcare. She has tons of churches under her. We have a lawyer coming in, Melissa. She's going to talk about some legal things. We have Yolanda from Now You Lay Me Down to Sleep, How to Ask for the Money. Making sure you price everything well. I'm going to be speaking, and we are adding more and more. So I'm super excited about that. Make sure you head over to nannyagencyschool.com/summit to register. And if you have any questions, you can email me at info@nannyagencyschool.com. Oh, I love SCORE. Natalie, I have a SCORE mentor as well. They're fantastic. Fantastic. I have a SCORE mentor. I've been with him. He's actually a retired business owner. And we meet every month, and it is like a party. So thank you for sharing that, Natalie. But yeah, hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, info@nannyagencyschool.com. And we got more questions. Janelle asked, we have gotten very comfortable with posting and sharing content via social media. We have done one reel, but wear many hats and not ready to outsource things yet. What would be your advice on how to be more comfortable with real content? The more you do it, the more comfortable you will get. That's honestly the best advice I have. And not to overthink it. I think that sometimes, we think something's not good enough. Maybe a piece of hair is out of place. You may not be wearing makeup that day, or you don't like your outfit. You know what? So what? It's okay. You can try another reel the next time. But I think the more you create content, and the more reels you put out there, you'll get comfortable with it. It took me, if you told me about 3 years ago that I was going to do a live stream on Marketing Essentials, I would have been shaking in my boots. But because I've worked on speaking and connecting and being more bold and just being comfortable in my own skin, I love it. It makes me excited. And so think about that mindset. You get to reach out to people. You get to share your expertise. You get to, be relatable. You get to connect with families and nannies. Like, think about a mind from a grateful place. And I'm telling you, you will get the abundance. And I think I probably should have started with that first, having the mindset of marketing and having the mindset of service. I'm telling you, it is a blessing, blessing, blessing. Okay. Mindset is everything. Don't let your thoughts hold you back, because you could be holding someone else back. Remember, I always say there are people waiting on you and what you have to offer. So you don't want to hide. You don't want to feel like, I'm not good enough. Somebody's waiting on you to do what you're supposed to be doing. Somebody needs to hear that today. Somebody is waiting on you to post in that group, because there's probably a stressed out mama crying right now at home with her newborn, like, I need some help. There's probably a dad like, oh my gosh, my wife is so overwhelmed, and that makes me overwhelmed, and I don't know what to do, and they have the money to invest in the extra hands, but they don't know because you're not posting, or because you're not reaching out, or because you're not marketing. So again, go with the mindset of, oh my gosh, somebody needs me. I can save a household. I can save a mom who's going through postpartum depression. Maybe there's kids who are neglected or something like that, and they need a nanny. I'll tell you, I worked as a nanny, and one day I'm going to write a book. But sometimes the nanny is all the kids have. The nanny is a safe place. That sounds like a post. You sending a nanny and saving that kid is a safe place. Okay. So I know that's really personal, but I can't tell you how many kids I've saved from dysfunction. I've been to court on behalf of kids. I've been with families who have gone through death and divorce. I've been with families who mom was getting abused. I'll never forget, I went to work one day and the back door was shattered because the night before they had a fight. So I know it's a little touchy, but when I say serving, you're serving and you're saving some lives. So get out there, market, be the expert. I don't care if it looks crazy right now, you'll fix it later. Okay. So that's a little Stephanie's heart piece. You're saving lives out here. Okay. We did feel that way about posting. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Any more questions? This has been great. Nanny Agency School /summit to sign up. Use discount code EngineHire40 to save $40. So excited. And again, email me. I love connecting with agency owners. We're friends, no competition over here. There's plenty of money to be made for everybody, plenty of clients. People stay pregnant, okay? So you will have tons of business, but we got to stick together, y'all. Anything you need, I'm here. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Engine Hire. You know, you guys are family and I truly appreciate you.
Oh my goodness. Stephanie, thank you so much for that. That was like an emotional roller coaster for me. I'm like excited, optimistic. Oh my gosh, I'm like tears are in my eyes. It's crazy. I love this. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Like Bria said, like confirmation. She needed it today. Thank you so much for this. Everything you're saying, we all like snapping right back, being like, yes, there is money for everybody here. This is all very important. So thank you so much for doing this. We'll make sure that this gets on the website as soon as possible. And Stephanie, would you drop that code in our community so everybody can put it in there? If you can't do it, I'll make sure we got this. But everybody, thanks for joining us. And Stephanie, thanks again. Thank you so much for doing this for us. We appreciate it a lot.
A pleasure. I feel so grateful. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Well, we will post this as soon as possible. And if you have any questions, Stephanie, reach out to Stephanie, info@nanny-agencyschool.com. And, you can always comment in the community and we'll make sure it gets over to her if you forget info@nanny-agencyschool.com. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.